Welcome back, everyone, to I'm No Genius. As always, I'm your host, Eli Burgett, and I'm joined today by my distinguished counterpart, Grant Bartholomew Sherman. How you doing, man?
Yeah, something like that. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. I'm also doing great because we are recording on Thursday night, and tonight is the first night that the NFL is back.
Yeah, it's a very big time of year for our friend group, especially the ones who are involved in our fantasy league. Which, by the way, since I since I casually brought it up in conversation, I just want to get ahead of the curve, and I want to say thank you to everyone who came out for the first week of fantasy. Since this is going to be released on Monday, I soundly defeated Grant Sherman week
Mm.
one. His team, damn son, did not stand a dang chance against Jesse. We need a touchdown. So I want to thank you. Thanks to the guys who performed very, very well. And I pray to God I'm not jinxing myself for the future. So,
Well, Eagles kick off here in actually a little over an hour, so we'll see how many points Saquon Barkley puts up. But I'm just fantasy aside, I'm just pumped, ready for football to be back. Um, it's the best sport ever.
yeah, I mean, like, we're obviously very biased because you and I, we're a bunch of patriots. We're a couple, here at I'm No Genius, we believe in American football. He's got the Bengals hat on. I got the OHIO State University hat on. So yeah, we love our American football, and we will stand by it till the day we die. But speaking of OSU, 1-0 against Tejas, and as of recording this, and I think it's safe to say they'll probably maintain this number one ranking through next week by the time this episode releases because they're playing. I looked on Google, Grambling football.
Correct.
Yeah. Do
I
you
mean,
know?
you'd hope. Yeah.
We know anything about them? Or
They're making a bunch of TikToks. They're trending online right now. I think their coach came out today in a press conference and was like, "It'll be a fun matchups of the bands." We don't really have to talk about the football game because I think we all know what's going to happen there. So I think everyone's kind of expecting the same outcome. It'll be a good game to see what our offense looks like because we didn't get to see a lot of that against Texas. Texas has a great defense. We have a great defense, very low scoring game. So I want to see some points. I'm ready for some points this game.
yeah, we're definitely ready for a 5, 6, 7 touchdown game. And
Clip.
yeah, clip that. Had to do it. Very much going to be an offensive game for OSU at least, and for Grambling football, you'll get on TV. That's great. Good for them. Yeah, like
Uh,
do they? Maybe we're sleeping on them. Maybe they have like a seventh year quarterback that throws for 600 yards a game that we just don't know about.
I'll Venmo you $5 if you can tell me what state Grambling State football is in.
Uh, Grambling State. This is a it's not like a community college. It's like an actual state institution or
Correct. NCAA Division One. It's in the FCS, not FBS, but
oh, okay. So this is like the teams that you play week one in Road to Glory or Dynasty that
correct.
just a tune up game. That makes
Correct.
sense. What state? 1 in 50 chance. Oh, I guess 1 in 48. There's no way it's in Alaska or Hawaii. I think we can rule those out. I will go Grambling. Grambling sounds southern. Grambling sounds pretty southern. I want to say Arkansas.
You got it.
Are you serious?
No.
Dang
There
it!
it was Louisiana. So you had me nervous for a second. You said Southern, and I was like, "Oh my God, I might be Venmoing him $5."
I was thinking like I was thinking definitely southeast part of the United States, or maybe like that whole Gulf area, maybe Alabama, but like I was like, let's go a little bit north, let's go Arkansas, why not? But man, you had me going there for a second. I got my hopes up.
Yeah, Grambling State Tigers, located in Grambling, Louisiana. They have 15 FCS national titles. So
So
yeah,
not to
battle
be
of powerhouses,
yeah
I guess.
not to be trifled with. These guys they
Yeah.
they they seem like they know what they're doing. So
We'll see. Speaking of big football games this weekend, Ohio University faces off against West Virginia,
Yeah.
and I am pumped.
Yeah, I mean, I know my brother and all of his friends down there at OU because they roll bobbies now. They're a part of the OU student body. They're excited for the game. It's probably the biggest game of the year, wouldn't you agree?
Second,
Oh yeah, that's right.
there's one coming up the week following, but this will be a big game.
I
Sold out. First time Peden Stadium has been sold out in quite some time. Um, I think over 50% of the stadium will be comprised of Mountaineer fans, but that doesn't matter. It'll
yeah,
be fun.
yeah, I mean, like Grant, I know it's not the biggest game of the year because we got the Battle of Ohio coming up and everything. What I meant is biggest game of the year at their home stadium. Selling out. Ohio University's football stadium. That's a tall order right there. Yeah, I
Correct.
mean, yeah. So like Luke and his friends, they're very excited. They are like all in the DMs and the Snapchats. They're going off about it. They're trolling big time on social media, saying West Virginia's going down. Luke edits three. I think he's made a couple of edits and everything. Probably besmirching West Virginia's name. And my parents are also going down
Oh, really?
to OU, and it's great and everything. I mean, like they came up to OSU a few times to watch some football games, but they've been OSU fans, but OU football, it's a new venture for them. So this is kind of a big deal.
Yep. Go green and white. Very excited. For anyone betting out there, I don't bet, but West Virginia opened up as only 3-point favorites. So something to look at.
Yeah,
Not heavy favorites. So should be a good game. A lot of points. I think the over under was 60.
really. So kind of like the anti OSU versus Texas game. It's going to be a
Correct.
high scoring, low defense.
Correct. I don't think there's a ton of good games going on Saturday. I mean, besides Grambling and Ohio State. But yeah, if you're looking for an exciting mid-afternoon game, tune in to Ohio University, West Virginia. And I don't know why I'm saying this because this podcast comes out on Monday and the game will be over by then. So hope you tuned in.
Yeah, if, in case you missed, in case you missed it, hopefully you DVR'd it. Is that still a thing that people do? Like, do they still record things?
Probably the people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah, maybe they're still working with Time Warner Cable or stuff like that. But
Well,
yeah, football is back in full swing, and as I jokingly but not really jokingly said, fantasy league is back as well, and we're feeling good. We're feeling good, but this is just par for the course. Everybody feels good week one. Well, I guess unless you're Camden Premer and you just have a terrible draft. But
a good draft.
he's in a class of his own, really. I
I
mean,
love immediately following the draft, going to see like what the little the computer I forget what it was called. Where it ranks you, like it because it comes out immediately after the draft, like your power rankings. I was number two, not to flex. But where it thinks you'll finish at the end of the year, and it's hilarious because I think every single year Cam is 10th every single time.
yeah, out of 10, out of 10.
Yeah, out of 10.
And I mean, look, viewers, we don't have to explain this to you. I mean, you guys saw this firsthand in an episode of I'm No Genius, where the entire back half of it, Grant and Cam were drafting for a different fantasy league. It was with James Salomone, the OCU Trailblazer legend. But yeah, Cam he's not great under pressure when it comes to drafting. And I think Ladin McConkey is a very good example of that, which I'm not like, look, I'll be the first to say I'm not a scholar on all things football and everything. I don't know every single player, but this guy sounds very obscure and looks like he could have fell a little bit.
See, you say that about yourself, but you still know you wouldn't draft Lad McConkey in the second round.
I wouldn't draft a guy with the last name McConkey.
And don't get
So
me wrong, Lad McConkey, great. He's wide receiver one for the Chargers, but you have other options there. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the listeners enjoyed this, but yeah, not a great second round pick.
Yeah, but we wish him well over the fantasy season, and maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe he'll turn it around. So
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
Grant,
We're looking.
Grant, how are things holding down in the WV?
Good. I mean, work is same old every day. Weather is absolutely beautiful. Going out to golf next week on the old PGA course at the Greenbrier with my boss.
Hmm.
Pumped about that. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah, will he? Will this just strictly be a fun little day on the links, or will he be using this opportunity to educate you on the world of business and the ins and outs? What advice he could bestow on a young, strapping individual like yourself? Like, what's it going to be?
Yeah, no, probably not. I have heard to not make bets with him because he is very good at golf
Yeah.
and he will take my money. So this is just it's gonna be a fun round. Very nice guy. I'm excited to get out there with him. We've been talking about it for quite some time, and I'm excited to play the course. It'll be fun.
Is this like big boss, or is this like direct superior? Like, so just like higher than you, or is this like a couple steps higher? Does it get much higher than him?
Uh, Basically big boss, not biggest boss, but yeah.
Big boss, he makes moves. So he
Right.
knows what he's doing. So he's probably had a lot of time. I mean, I'm not going to assume his age, but like he's probably had a lot of time on the golf course to develop his game.
Oh, absolutely. He lives out there and he's out there every single day. Yeah, he's pretty well known at the Greenbrier. His parking spot is right in front of the hotel. Like literally right where the valet is. That's where he just parks every day. So yeah, I'm excited to get out there with him. It'll be fun.
Okay, so Grant, what I would like to do now is I would like to go through an exercise with you to like, I'll be the big boss, you be you, and I will propose, like a bet to you, and because your coworkers told you not to, you have to politely like turn me down. Okay, let's see how that would work. Okay, you want to go?
Sure.
Okay, good. You greet me.
Hey, do I call you Eli?
You can call me Eli just for the sake of simplicity.
Hey, Eli. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Grant. How are you, sir? I'm,
I'm
I'm,
doing
I'm,
good.
I'm yeah. I'm assuming this character is a distinguished Southern gentleman. That's just my interpretation of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Somewhat. It's okay. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Ready to get out on the course today?
Oh, Grant, I gotta tell you, I live for the links. I'm out here every single day, and I gotta tell you, son, I plan on taking some of that money that's in your pocket. What do you say?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I do not wait, hold on. I'm getting a stupid. Sorry.
Oh,
Teams is crashing out. I'm sorry, repeat that.
I plan on taking that money, Grant. How much are we gonna bet per hole?
To be completely honest with you, sir, don't got a lot of money, so this might be a quick round if you're trying to do that.
Oh, I see. Okay, how much money do you have on you, son?
Uh, $0. So I think we should just maybe go out and play for fun, maybe scramble, something
Zero
not
dollars.
complicated.
$0. Okay, I'll tell you what. I will loan you $18. We will play a dollar a hole, and then I will have all 18 back in my pocket by day's end. What do you say?
Yeah, why not? I'll take you up on that. Sounds
There,
great.
there we go. See, Grant, that's the right way to do it. He feels a sense of accomplishment. You give up $0. Great job.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, I think that
Good.
I
I
think that
feel
worked.
confident
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into it.
You should feel confident. I mean, Grant, you like don't go around saying like, oh my gosh, he's such a great golfer. You're the best golfer among the hosts of the I'm No Genius podcasters. So like that's a badge you can wear.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not a super shiny badge, but it's a badge.
It's like the plastic, like metal that you buy at Dollar General. I would
Yeah,
say.
Walmart, yeah. You get the pack of like 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a badge.
Yeah, it's definitely a badge. But like that's good that you got big plans coming up for your job. Very proud. I just want to say now that you're a full-fledged adult and everything, I've said it a million times, welcome to the ranks. But number two, very proud of all the stuff that you've been doing, making very big adult decisions. Very proud of you. Go Grant.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. You've been getting out there, putting yourself out there. I mean, starting the news, but now you were trying to record yesterday, but you got gigs during the weeknights.
I do. Yeah, I drove. I got off work and I immediately drove to Mainville, Ohio, which is a little bit north of Mason. So I passed Kings Island on my way to this particular gig. Played 3 hours at this place called the Monkey Bar and Grill, which
Mhm.
this place is like sweet. It's like 3 floors, like huge, like venue and everything. But because it's Wednesday, there was like you know 60 people in and out the entire night. So it wasn't, a huge crowd, but we had a lot of fun. Like the people that were there, people that hung around the entire time, just nursing their drinks at the bar. They seemed to like what I was playing. So that's pretty cool. Not
It's
Madison. What's that?
no, no, keep going.
Not Madison Square Garden, but we'll get there.
You got a big gig this Saturday, right?
Yeah,
It's
I got a couple of gigs this weekend. I got one in Asheville, my hometown. That's on Friday at a place called Kelly Joe's. Free plug. Well, I guess it's going to be over by the time this episode comes out.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's it's
Okay.
it's it's so tough to promote stuff on this
We got to plan
podcast.
ahead. We got to start. I'll do better with the prep sheet.
It's okay. It shouldn't always be on you. So but I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm playing at Kelly Joe's. This will have been this past Friday. That's my hometown. Very excited about that one. Then I'm playing at a place called Dog Ugly in Williamsport, which is actually pretty cool because Luke's girlfriend's family actually lives in that area, so they're all coming to watch me play. And she's got a pretty decently sized family, so a lot of hindquarters and seats. So pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. That'll be
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Some big adult decisions, in that regard. But like another big, I want to bring this up before we get to everything else. But like, I made a big adult decision today, and it was not something that I wanted to make, but it's just something I had to do, and it
Mhm.
has to deal with my 2016 Chevy Malibu
Hmm.
that gets great gas mileage, but the wear and tear on the tires was too much to ignore at this point. I looked at my front left tire, and there was like a huge, like tear basically in one of the tires. Like I was going to fill it up with air, and I noticed a huge tear in the tire. Thankfully, I noticed it because if I drove it like even a little bit further, it was probably going to like burst. Which I've had that happen to another one of my tires. Don't recommend it. So I immediately went over to Tire Discounters, said, "Hey, can you hook your boy up with two new front tires because I got the two new back ones just a couple months ago." And they're just like, "Yeah, sure, we got you." And I was like, "Okay, great." Now the Tire Discounters was 2 miles away from where I work, and I was on my lunch break when I did this, and I was like, "Crap, I got to leave my car here." So what do? I call an Uber. I call an Uber,
Hmm.
say, "Hey, take me back to my job," and they're just like, "Okay, cool." Like 2 miles away. It was like $8. Set
Yeah.
like like $9, whatever. And then I just worked out the rest of the day, and then they were supposed to call me when the tires were done and put on, but I got done with work before then, and I live like mile and a half away from where I work, so I was just like, okay, I could Uber back home and then Uber to the Tire Discounters, or I could just walk home and then save $8, then Uber to the Tire Discounters. So that's what I did. I walked home in my gray Hey Dudes,
Hmm.
which do not recommend that. I have a blister on my foot that is not something to take lightly. And then they called me on the way back, and then I went over, picked up the car. Tires are looking great now, but yeah, pretty penny out of the wallet because tires are not cheap, is what I've come to find.
No. Was it just the one that you replaced?
No, so like my dad, I, I mean, like I'm sure it's the same with your parents or whatever. Whenever I have to make an adult decision, I consult my parents first before like I actually like
Yeah.
make a big
That's
purchase or whatever. So I call up my dad and I'm like, "Hey, I got tire in the front that I think needs replaced." Send him a picture. He goes like, "Yeah, you need to replace that like ASAP. Can you go to a Tire Discounters like tonight after work or like whenever?" And I was like, "Look, I'm on my lunch break right now. I'll go take it there right now." And so okay. And he told me that you need to replace either like the whole all four tires or at least two at a time, at the very
hmm.
least two at a time. So I replaced just the front two tires because I had done the back two like a few months ago. So
I don't think I mentioned this. I think this happened during our hiatus, but I got a flat tire earlier this year, and I got all four replaced, and that was definitely a pretty penny. Um,
yeah,
but I mean, I'm glad to hear that you're safe and you got new tires.
yeah. Because the last thing that I want, Grant, is for me to break, like for a tire to burst on my way to a very important show, like at Kelly Joe's back in
Correct.
Asheville. That's the last thing that I want. But yeah, why are tires so freaking expensive? I don't know. Like it's just like rubber,
Just rubber, right? Yeah.
pressurized rubber. I mean, like, yeah, it's non-renewable resource or what? It's like oil that makes it or whatever. Like you'll never get that back. Why is it so expensive? I don't get it. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they last you like 50,000 miles or anything.
Do they really?
I don't know. I just made that number up.
I was like, okay, then it's actually pretty cheap than what I paid for it. So,
Oh my God, no way.
what are you looking at?
Uh, Most normal car tires last anywhere between 45,000 and 55,000 miles. I nailed that.
Dang, dude, that's a pretty good estimate.
Let's go.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
so I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, if they last that long, not a bad investment, but they're not cheap when you do it.
no, and it definitely like I mean, look, I may be making big boy money, but as any person who's familiar with the economy will tell you, big boy money is not that big. Like I mean, it's just I'm getting by. I'm doing what I can and everything, but I might have to play a couple of shows before I recoup that cash that I spent on those tires. So
We'll get multiple tip jars out for Kelly Joe's.
yeah, I want tip jars posted at every exit entrance, and
Correct.
I want Venmos slapped. The Venmo, like the QR code. I want that slapped on every single table.
Maybe we'll
So,
put Adam in front of the bar and have like an entry fee.
or maybe like have like Adam like hold like an offering plate or something. Like like he'll just
Yeah.
be at the front, and then like every 30 minutes he'll go through like with the offering plate. I think that might be sacrilegious, but it also might generate some pretty good buzz, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Grant, what's on your mind, man? What's been in the mind of Grant Sherman? What does he want to bring to the viewers of I Know Genius here today?
I mean, not a lot usually goes on in this mine. Usually it's fantasy football related, but whenever it's not fantasy football related, it's movie related.
I
Big
mean,
movie fan.
yeah,
We were talking before this episode, talk about movies here and there. Let's just do second half of this episode, movie episode. Why not?
I'm down.
And on the prep sheet here, through a bunch of different questions. Some are very broad. Probably should have read through this before.
That's okay.
Um, we'll just
We
start with some of our favorites, some of our childhood favorites.
mm,
What
child,
you
child,
got?
childhood favorite, like just movies in general.
Yeah, just movies.
Mm, childhood favorites. I mean, you know, you go with the usual picks and everything. Ratatouille, Cars, Up. Basically all things Pixar. I mean, love Shrek. Like, I mean, a lot of my childhood favorites are the movies I still watch today and
Yeah,
everything. Like, a lot of those movies. But like even some of the more like obscure movies, like some of the stuff that you buy in like the dollar bin at Walmart, like Over the Hedge
yeah,
or like Shark Tale, stuff
yeah.
like all those like animated movies and everything. Loved all those. I mean, yeah, just like that was those were nonstop in my house. Though I want to ask you before I get to your favorites, were you a big fan of the 2D, like like basically like the cartoon, like like Lion King or like Beauty and the Beast when you were a kid, or did you prefer like the Incredibles or the Up or the computer animation? Which one was your favorite?
I guess now, I mean, I never even thought about that. Now that you bring it up, I guess growing up, I honestly watched more of like the Lion King, Tarzan, Aladdin, so like more of the 2D movies, but I don't really think looking back, I don't think I have a preference. I
Because
think a lot of 2D movies were just better quality, honestly. I mean, you have some here and there. I mean, I get Toy Story, Cars, Ratatouille. I don't know. They're all great. All those
yeah,
animated movies from back then, just phenomenal. They don't make them like that anymore.
Because for me, I don't know where I got like this mindset or whatever. Like I thought like the computer animated, like, Toy Story, Cars, and like, Incredibles and all that stuff. I thought like, okay, this is cool. This is cool for, boys to watch this stuff and everything. But when I thought of like 2D and everything, I thought like Cinderella, and I thought like Beauty and the Beast. I thought Snow White and stuff like that. And I was like, 2D animation is for girls. Like three like, 3D computer animation is for boys. That's the
How
cool
old?
stuff.
How old were you when you were thinking this?
I was 17.
Oh,
So,
no, I was gonna say this is something that never even crossed my mind growing up, but it's an interesting point now that you brought it up, and I'm actually thinking about it. I I would say the majority of my childhood movies and the ones that I can still watch to this day and enjoy are the 2D movies. I just feel like there's more of those, and a lot of them are just better quality.
yeah, definitely. I mean, so you're like I think they call the Disney Renaissance, like that 90s era and everything. You got like, Little Mermaid through like, Hercules and like Tarzan and everything.
Oh
Like
my
all
God,
like,
Hercules.
oh, you a big fan of Hercules?
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I mean, like I will say, like I think I watched, despite how like much I love Greek mythology and everything, I didn't really watch Hercules a whole lot growing up. Like, and I still, haven't seen a whole lot of it to this day. I mean, I know it's a great movie from the few times that I've seen it, but like, I mean, Lion King, Aladdin, even Tarzan, those are on like repeat.
Tarzan, also one of my favorites. Yeah.
Oh, but before we move on to another topic, one Disney like 2D movie or whatever, 101 Dalmatians.
Mhm.
That was my older brother Caleb's favorite. And did my mom ever tell you the story about how Caleb was trying to watch 101 Dalmatians one time at my aunt's house?
I don't think I've heard it.
Okay, well, Caleb, he was a strange child because he had like sometimes he would like make up words and everything if he just like didn't know how to like communicate. And so like one time he was at my aunt's house and they were flipping through like movies trying to get like find something for Caleb to watch and everything. And my aunt was just like, "Hey, Caleb, what do you want to watch?" And he goes, "I want to watch Futabi." Yeah, yeah. Do I have your attention now?
Mhm.
And like, yeah. And my aunt was just like, What? And my mom was like, I don't know what that is. Like, even my mom was at a loss. So like, she kept flipping through, and she goes like, no, like he's just like, oh, I want to watch Futabi. And then eventually she landed on 101 Dalmatians, and he goes, Futabi, Futabi. And then they watched it, and they went on not knowing why he would say something like that to signal 101 Dalmatians. So
That a character? Like I'm still trying to. I've seen
yeah,
101 Dalmatians a few times in my life, but I'm not. I'm blanking on what that could possibly mean.
yeah, I don't think it doesn't. I don't think it has any relation to the actual film. But you know, that's just the mind of Caleb Burgett. I don't want to dive too deep into it, so
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Let's stay out of that.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through some of these 2D Disney movies, and I mean they're just all bangers. Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, Peter Pan, Emperor's New Groove, a Goofy movie,
Mm.
Lion King, Little Mermaid. These were my movies growing up.
you
Aladdin.
it's a really underrated Disney movie. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie.
That's I mean like
Man,
scare.
that's dark for a children's movie. I watched that for the first time, and or I mean, I watched it when I was younger, and I just didn't really understand what was going on. There was just a ugly guy with a hunchback on screen, and I mean, yeah, you didn't get it. But then when you watch it, like at our age now, you're like, wow, that's it's pretty dark for a Disney movie at that time. Great
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. And one movie that I've really come to appreciate later, like well, later in life. I'm 23 years old. I'm still young for the most part. One movie that I've really come to appreciate lately. Did you ever watch The Prince of Egypt when you were younger?
So that was one. Hold on, let me check real quick. I don't think I. No, I haven't. Yeah, this is one of the, yeah, with Val Kilmer. This is one of those movies that I just never really watched for some reason. But I've
Yeah.
always heard from everyone who brings it up that it's really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, like that movie. Like, despite being a movie about basically like the Bible stories and everything and Christianity and stuff like that, it's like metal, dude. Like it goes hard and everything. Especially when they like do like the plagues and stuff like that. They sing like a whole song about
Yeah.
the plagues. It goes crazy, and I love it so much. But like as a kid and everything, it's just like, oh, Bible movie or whatever, just like move about Bible stories and everything. Going to move on. But nowadays, yeah, I've really come to enjoy that one.
So you bring up the soundtrack, and that kind of leads me into like the next question, or one of the questions I had on the prep sheet. Like, what are some of your, and we can get out of the Disney movies, but there's obviously like great Disney movies with great soundtracks. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tarzan is one of my favorite soundtracks ever.
Yeah.
But like, are there any other movies that you just love the soundtrack?
I mean, like you got to throw the Guardians of the Galaxy movies on there. I mean, like like they like not in terms of like oh my gosh, so many like great recognizable songs. I mean, I didn't know hardly any of those songs going into the movies, but they like made them like really fun and really accessible for a lot of people in our generation. So I got to throw those on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree. I'm just trying to think of anything that Hans Zimmer does, I'm a fan of, which is honestly like 50% of movies nowadays. I feel like you can find something of his on anything. A lot of
He's on standby. He's just on standby now.
exactly. I've seen actually like concerts, like tickets for concerts for him. I would absolutely go to that. I
Yeah.
would pay a lot of money to go to that too. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. Um, I don't know. And then there's just like iconic ones. Footloose has a lot of classics.
hmm
Um,
What about Back to the Future?
Back to the Future, a lot of great ones.
hmm Oh,
Um,
I mean, like just off the top of my head, another superhero series, the Deadpool movies.
Deadpool,
Like
yeah,
yeah, the Careless Whisper to Iris and all. It's like just banger after banger. Love that stuff.
isn't is the Bodyguard? Is that where I will always love
That yeah,
you? That
that's when
first
yeah,
came
that's
from?
yeah, that's what that's like
I
that's
wasn't
when
sure if it was out before or what, but
that was yeah, that was Dolly Parton's before, but that's when Whitney Houston sang it. And that's when it first came out. So
great. My heart will go on.
yeah, Titanic. Got to throw that on there.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
good ones.
but yeah, a lot of good. I mean, like some of those like there's a lot of movies that have like one really recognizable song and everything, and there's stuff like. But then there's like other movies that have like a whole catalog of like really good songs on their soundtrack. So that's a lot of stuff like that.
Let me see what else do I got on here.
On the holy prep sheet.
I know we kind of touched on this last time we were talking, but some of your favorite actors, actresses, or
Mm.
you could do least favorite.
Um, well, Grant, I take this time to say that I recently downloaded IMDb. Oh, not IMDb, Letterbox. Excuse me. I've become the incompetent critic has taken a whole new platform by storm, and I thought about for because like the first movie that popped up was La La Land, and I thought about doing like one of those obscure premises that you were talking about before, just like obscure like stipulations or like critiques or stuff like that. And I thought like, okay, what if I rate every single movie on whether or not like it resonates like or it emulates Ryan Gosling. So like if Ryan Gosling is on screen, then like yeah, like that's a 5 stars. But if there's like a character that like emulates something that Ryan Gosling would play, then also gets consideration. So like I don't know, I think like the character from Memento, like the main character from Memento, like I could feel like Ryan Gosling could slot in that one pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. What is his name? He's in a ton of stuff too.
Yeah, but like Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors. RDJ as well. Killian Murphy, I like him a lot lately.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously DiCaprio, Denzel Washington, love Eddie Murphy. A lot of stuff like that. So, what about you?
I mean, a lot of those are the same. Guy Pearce, by the way, that was the guy I meant
Oh
to.
yeah, yeah.
Um, no, a lot of the same guys that you said. I think honestly, my favorite one, Jake Gyllenhaal. Like
Ooh,
anything he's in, he performs. He does great. Um, the movie isn't always necessarily great. Like I just watched I think it was called The Guilty on Netflix. Kind of a it was a thriller, like a suspenseful movie, not well written, but he did great. Watched Nightcrawler with him, kind of the same thing. But he has when you get him in a good movie with a good script, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'd say him, Christian Bale, and then like all the other ones that you named are obviously great.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing with because I love Jake Gyllenhaal too. He's a phenomenal actor, but like the thing that a lot of people have pointed out is that like every single movie that he's in, like his character just can't be happy, like ever. He's always just miserable, and like, but like in real life, he's like a funny dude or what, like he's like a goofy kind of guy. But like I remember, it reminds me of one time like he did this like Disney movie called like Strange World or something like that, and like he was on like the press tour with like his co-stars, and he like cracked a joke. He was like, I hope people like take like laugh and cry, and I hope they see that maybe the world that we live in is a pretty strange world too. And he like kind of laughed to himself, and then he looked to his co-stars to see if they were laughing, and they weren't, and he just went. I kind of sunk back in his seat, and I was like, "Oh, poor guy. He just
I
wants to
remember
laugh."
seeing, yeah, I completely forgot about this movie. This is just one of those that I never watched. Came out not too long ago. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal, awesome. Actresses, anything with Anne Hathaway, she's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that it's never bad. Um,
This is a layup, but Meryl Streep, obviously,
yeah,
it's a good thing. It's a good thing Adam's not on this episode. He would be silent right now.
he'd be so confused. He would be watching the Braves on his phone right now. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll tell him to go back and listen to this, and if he can send us pictures of, I don't know. I mean, there's no way he'd know these people.
Name a single movie of any of these actresses or something like that.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. Um,
Kate,
and then I
Kate,
know what were you saying?
I was gonna say Kate Winslet, Kate Blanchett. Love
Yeah,
those. Yeah,
I'm looking up some other one. Yeah, Julia Roberts. It's a lot of good ones.
yeah. Angela Bassett. That's one that I've been getting into lately. So she's got a good filmography.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through here.
While we're on the topic of actors and everything, and this might slot into least favorite actors, that category. But what's your thoughts on musicians, or like singers or like artists being actors? What are your thoughts on that?
Um, Sometimes it's great. I don't mind it if you put on a role, perform that is believable and enjoyable to watch. I don't care. I know I mentioned The Bodyguard earlier, Whitney Houston in that movie. Awesome. Um, I know Bad Bunny was just in Happy Gilmore too, but he's been in like other movies too. He was in that movie. I think he was in like Bullet Train, right? Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
yeah. He was in the yeah.
He was good in that. I
Yeah.
mean, like, if you can act and you put on an enjoyable performance, I don't mind. But if you're just there kind of as like a cameo and you seem out of place, then it kind of annoys me.
Yeah. Do you have any specific examples that come to mind for the latter category?
Um, so not a movie, but The Weekend, and I haven't even actually watched this show. He put on this show that apparently he wrote, directed all this, and he was like the main actor in it. Just the worst acting you've ever seen, and it's just like not. It's not for him. Makes great music. Uh, Stay in your lane. I don't know.
Yeah, was it The Idol? Is that what show you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, I saw like a lot of people on YouTube trashing that. Another like I don't even remember what it was called, but like there was a movie that came out last year where like he played a like touring musician that like had like weird encounters with fans or whatever, and like everyone like took like this one scene of him like yelling at Jenna Ortega, where he's got like very obvious veneers and everything. His like teeth are like glowing white, and he's like, shut up, I have to go right now, I'm trying to be polite." It's like,
Yeah. That was the first one that came to mind, but I don't know. And then Yeah, there's so many that are like that who just try to get into it and they're just not great. Um,
I mean, the one thing that comes to my mind is like, he's had some good movies and everything, but Justin Timberlake In Time, uh,
so yeah, I that was something I watched as a kid and I just rewatched it about a week ago. Doesn't really hold up. Great concept, great actors, and just some of the I don't even know if it was so much him, but just like the writing was not for me.
yeah, like movies like that, like In Time and everything, like they slot into I like to call the TNT category or the FX category, where like they would play at like 3 p.m. on a Wednesday or something like that. You know, like they would play like in the afternoon, like on a Wednesday to kind of like like just be on the airwaves and stuff like that. Just like, oh yeah, great, movie for TV and stuff like that. But just not like a movie that you would see in like theaters or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I forgot. I literally just watched the movie. I should have thought of that one, but um, that was also one with Cillian Murphy and some other good actors and actresses in it. But cool concept. Didn't pan out, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Uh, oh, what was the one with they just had with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles? Did you ever watch that?
Oh, it was Don't Worry, Darling. Was
Yeah.
it that one? Yeah. I
Uh,
didn't watch it, but like like a lot of people were trashing on it before it even came out. So I just I didn't the hype wasn't there for me.
yeah, I never got around to that one.
Yeah, but like I did see a scene with Harry Styles acting, and it could have been worse, but it wasn't Oscar worthy. So
Home and Eternals, that was all I needed to see.
yeah, like let's. I mean, if we start talking about the Marvel movies, we're going to be here all night. You know, just do better, Marvel, just in general. I don't even want to talk about your movies. But Grant, I think that's going to about do it for us for this episode. Do you have a life lesson, some little nugget of knowledge you can bestow upon our lovely viewers? Give it to them.
Um, know yourself. If your boss is asking you to go golf and you'd know that he's very good at golf, you know that there's a chance that he's going to ask you if you want to put money on holes. Just know yourself, know your capabilities.
Yeah. Uh, tack on to that. Know yourself, know your capabilities, know to set your fantasy lineup ahead of time, know which state Grambling football is in, and know your favorite actors, actresses, movies, and also your least favorites in all those categories. But in general, just know stuff. Just
Yeah.
know everything, and you'll never go wrong. I think we could all take that advice. I think so. From everyone here at I'm a Genius, I'm Eli Burgett. He is Grant Sherman. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time.
Everybody loves